It's a 4-game losing streak for the Phillies as they embark in the final game of this quick 2-game series here in Boston. Yeah, Fenway Park is the site. NBC Sports Philadelphia, home of the authentic fan, produces the Phils and the Boston Red Sox on a beautiful night for baseball. All right, so the Phillies were busy today. Before the trade deadline, they acquired Wilson Ramos from the Rays with cash considerations for a player to be named later. Aaron Loup acquired from the Blue Jays for a minor leaguer as well. Loup with a 3.47 ERA for his career. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis. So the Phillies were busy today picking up a bat and also an extra catcher for the future. And I say future because we're not sure when Wilson Ramos will be back because he's battling a hamstring right now. But he can swing the bat, and he's got a good arm, so maybe the Phils can get a little boost offensively.
Yeah, and they need it offensively, T-Mac. We noticed over this 4-game losing streak how the Phillies have not really swung the bats, but Wilson Ramos will provide a lot of offense, hitting .294 this current season with 14 home runs. They call him the Buffalo, and one of Tommy Hunter's teammates said, "Why do they call him the Buffalo?" He said, "Because he looks like a buffalo. He's a big, strong guy, and he's going to provide some offense for this team."
All right, so that's down the road. Tonight, it's Jake Arrieta who's going to try to stop this 4-game losing streak for the Phillies. Hopefully, he's as good as Aaron Nola was last night. The Phillies have lost 4 straight. During this time, they've scored only 7 runs. They're hitting .214 with runners in scoring position. And you see what the opposition has done. The opposition has not hit all that well with runners in scoring position, but they have been able to sneak through with some of these victories. And now it's Arrieta's turn to try to quiet this Red Sox offense.
And he has been so good in the month of July. He's getting the team deeper into ball games, not having to go to that bullpen as early. The fastball command, especially to his glove side, down and away to righties, in off the hands of lefties, has been excellent. The sink is back. He's inducing a lot of ground balls. The curveball's been better. The slider's been better. Even mixing in some changeups and getting some swings and misses with that.
All right, so in limited action here at Fenway Park, his numbers aren't great, but this is what he's done in the month of July. 5 starts, a 3-0 record, but the most important thing, I think, is the fact that Phillies are 5-0 in all of those starts so far in the month of July. So the final day of July is upon us, and the Phils need a victory before they head home after this road trip. It will be Jake Arrieta. He'll be opposed by left-hander Drew Pomerantz. When we return, we'll go to the NBC Sports Philadelphia studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. By Toyota. The Toyota Camry, Highlander, and RAV4 have something for everybody. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. Fiona Carter, who hails from the state of Connecticut, with today's national anthem. The Red Sox have already taken the field, and some of the young little leaguers from the area are out getting a chance to get some autographs before they head out to their seats out towards center field. Jake Arrieta is just making his way in from the Phillies bullpen. Drew Pomeranz obviously is already in and heading out to the mound right now. The umpire is going to exchange the lineup cards. Jose David Flores, it's up to him to try to end this 4-game losing streak for the Phillies. That's who Gabe Kapler gave the lineup card to for tonight's ball game. And Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, is the home plate umpire for tonight's ball game. The Phillies have lost 4 straight. We just talked about that in the open, trying to get some offense going. After the 7 home runs against the Reds in game 1 of that series, they've kind of gone quiet offensively. And they're also hoping that Jake Arrieta can do something like what Aaron Nola did last night. Gabe Kapler talked about Nola today a little bit and said, even after watching it again, that it could be one of the more dominant performances he's seen from his young right-hander. And he watched a lot of video of him even before he took over as the skipper of the Phils. Let's take a look at the Lowe's whole team together. And since 2016, the Red Sox with 261 wins, the Cubs 256, and the Dodgers with 254. The Red Sox are probably not done as far as that win total goes. They're on pace of eclipsing their franchise record in victories. Clubhouse was upbeat today, even with the wheeling and dealing that went on. Obviously, the acquisition of Wilson Ramos will eventually affect somebody on this Phillies roster. Let's take a look at the Red Sox lineup for today. It's brought to you by Xfinity, or excuse me, the Phillies lineup for today. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet provider according to speedtest.net. Cesar leads it off, and then Rhys Hoskins. Carlos Santana moves to the number 3 spot, and Cabrera moves to the cleanup hole. Nick Williams back in the lineup, bats 5th. And Maikel Franco, who's continued a stellar month of July with 7 home runs and 15 runs batted in. They'll face the 29-year-old from Tennessee, Drew Pomeranz, 1-4 this year with a high ERA, Ben. And the opponent's batting average is exactly the same, left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah, 310 on either side. Not good numbers here at Fenway in 2018. 1-2 with a 7.85 ERA. Phillies need to get to him and get to him early.
Ian Kinsler, just acquired last night. They announced it after the ball game, is in the lineup, and it sounds like he's going to be the second baseman moving forward. Does not sound like Dustin Pedroia is going to be back anytime soon. All right, so here we go. Final game of this quick 2-game series up to Boston. The first pitch of the night is way upstairs. We're underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Cesar was 0 for 5 last night in the extra inning loss. He did pick up a walk. On base percentage at .373. In fact, his on base percentage and his slugging percentage are nearly exact. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Yeah, the dirt 2-2.
Pomeranz predominantly fastball, curveball. Fastball a little over 51%, curveball a little over 38%.
It's surprising that he has pitched in this is only his 20th interleague game, but more than that, he only has 4 decisions in those interleague games. 3-2 to Cesar. With Rhys waiting on deck. And a foul back to the screen. It remains 3-2. Cesar 6 for 18 on this road trip. And a bouncer out to shortstop. Bogarts is up with it. And although he saw some pitches, 1 out here in the first. And that'll bring Rhys up.
Anxious to see just how many pitches Rhys gets to hit in tonight's ball game.
You think they're going to challenge the guys behind him?
I do. Reese has been so good. You see over the last 10 games, 349, 7, and 13.
That's a solid line right there, though. 262 with a 370 on base percentage and a slugging percentage of 513. Santana moves to the number 3 spot. Odubel is off tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 1-0 to Hoskins.
Beautiful night here in Boston.
Yes, 77 degrees at game time. Not as overcast as last night, although last night turned out fine. Outside corner, and it's 1-2 to Hoskins. That's when Pomerantz is at his best, when he's able to do just that. Let's hope it's not an omen. Same sort of setup against Hoskins that he had against Hernandez. He got ahead 1-2, threw a breaking ball, and even the count at 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes. You know, we mentioned the data last night that David Price takes a little more than 27 seconds in between pitches. Without knowing what Pomerantz, where he sits, he's a little slower. Ball 4. Hoskins draws a walk. All right, so is that what you're talking about?
Exactly right. Say, I'm gonna see if you'll bite, but I'm not gonna give you anything to hit.
Brings Carlos up. Carlos was 1 for 5 last night, hitting 3rd tonight. Gabe said before the ball game today that Herrera was scheduled to have this off day. He said they kind of laid it out last week before they left on the road trip on how they wanted to set up this matchup against the 2 lefties. They thought Williams would be off last night and Herrera would be off tonight. It had nothing to do with his play last night. Although I will say this, if Odubel had played a bigger role against the Red Sox in a positive way, he may have been in there tonight. I know he had a couple hits, but his base running mistake and his error in center field, which he did own up to last night.
And this technically doesn't go down as an error, but Jackie Bradley Jr. scored all the way from first, and Nunez made it into third with a triple.
2 balls, 1 strike to Santana. Santana is only 3 for 20 on this road trip, with Cabrera waiting on deck. Liner into left field, a base hit. That's going to go right to the monster. Hoskins on his way to 3rd. The throw goes to 2nd, and Santana is going to be out at second base. Now, he did put a swim move on, but I still think that Kinsler was able to apply the tag.
They usually put the strongest arm in the outfield in right field. Well, here at Fenway, so many balls off this wall. You need someone with a good arm and an accurate arm. That's what Andrew Benintendi has. Right on the money. Because this play happens so frequently at this ballpark, you need to have someone, A, that knows the wall, and B, can make this throw on a regular, consistent basis to get the runners at second base.
Yeah, he got him right on the chest before his hand went onto the bag. 7-4 on the putout at second base. And here is Cabrera, who was 2 for 6 with a double in last night's game. kind of sense the way that ball was hit, how hard it was hit. As that is rolled back toward the middle, Bogarts is up with it behind the bag, and the Phils leave one over at third. You get the sense, though, the way that how hard that ball was hit, that there was going to be a play at second base. Unfortunately, the Phils leave one at third as we go to the bottom of the first. The top of the first, but couldn't do so. Carlos Santana tried to stretch a single into a double, which turned out to really not be the best idea. Let's take a look at the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet provider, according to speedtest.net. Well, you see the Red Sox have adjusted their lineup with Mookie Betts being off tonight. Benintendi will lead it off in left field, but Ian Kinsler is in the lineup for the first time for the Red Sox. And they will face right-hander Jake Arrieta.
He's been really good recently, Jake the Snake. He'll sit about 93 with that good, hard sinking fastball, change curve slider. Overall numbers against the Red Sox not good. Looking to remedy that this evening.
Here at Fenway Park, 1-2 with an ERA of 5.40. In 5 games, 4 starts. Benintendi is 1 for 3 with a home run against Arrieta. First pitch fastball in there, and it's 0-1. Benintendi was 0 for 5 last night. In fact, the top 5 hitters in the Red Sox order were 0 for 24 against Aaron Nola in the Phillies bullpen. That's why you look at it, and I know you have to just brush it aside, but that's why they should have won that ball game.
Yes. You just can't let a pitching performance like that just go by the wayside.
0-2 pitch coming to Benintendi. And he lines into center field, a base hit. Arrieta tried a breaking ball. Our Toyota turning point last night, it was the game winner by Blake Swihart.
It's a first pitch fastball here from Luis Garcia. Elevated in the middle, ground rule double, game over. Nunez scores from second. And that was it. Bottom of the 13th inning. That was your Toyota turning point. Brought to you by Toyota.
Here's Swihart batting second tonight. Pitch off the outside corner by Arrieta. Swihart has hit in 10 consecutive games. He's hitting .429 during that stretch. Phillies set up to turn 2. Outside, 2-0.
Alex Cora saying last night after the ball game that Swihart might get a little bit more playing time as the bats have been better. He's seeing more pitches. He's doing a better job calling the game behind the plate. Here he is in the starting lineup and batting second this evening.
He's just missing in that same spot. And they are just off the plate. Three balls, one strike to Swihart. He'll be followed by Mitch Moreland. We ran through the numbers last night. The Red Sox are first in batting average in the American League at 269. And they're first in runs scored, averaging nearly 5.5 runs per game. As they keep an eye on Benintendi.
I think he'll be off to the races here.
18 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught once. There he goes. Ball is hit in the air down the left field line. Hoskins toward the wall. He has room, makes the catch. And what away. There's Mitch Moreland. One of the things that has stood out about the Phillies and their starting staff is that they're sitting first in Major League Baseball in the lowest hard hit percentage. That's significant. It's at 29.4%. Now the Red Sox are on that list. The Mets, because of DeGrom and Syndergaard, and lately because of the way Wheeler's thrown, they're on that list as well. The Astros are there. But that's a significant number because it just means that the opposition's not getting a lot of hard hit baseballs against the starting pitchers. And talking to Cranny about it today, Rick Kranitz, I said, what do you attribute it to? He goes, I attribute it to two things. He goes, a lack of predictability. He said, because we're trying to be unpredictable. We're not giving in hitters' counts, and we're not necessarily throwing a fastball at hitters' counts. And he said, so sometimes hitters think we're throwing one pitch, we throw another. He said the other thing that he thinks is because of the movement from Nola, the movement from Arrieta, because both of those guys have such great movement on it. And he also said the movement on the fastball of guys like Eflin and Pivetta and Velasquez.
And what's good about all their movement is it's late. It's not like you see the movement out of the hand. Benintendi's off and running.
Alfaro's throw, and he just gets his hand in there.
How about that throw?
That was a great throw.
That was all on Arrieta.
Manny Gonzalez was right on it. He's pointing toward the dugout. The Phils are taking a peek at it just to see.
My goodness, he gets rid of this. It's a great pitch to throw on to his feet. Throwing downhill all the way, right on the money. Jake Arrieta, as slow as anybody really to home plate. Very quick to first. Nothing Jorge can do. Makes an unbelievable throw, though. My goodness.
Yeah, now what about Franco and how he fielded that ball? Should he have been back farther, you think?
I think so. Let the ball travel. It's going to get there faster.
I don't know if it would have made a world of difference, but he had to reach and then come back. 0-2 to Moreland. Good breaking pitch. Arrieta picks up his first strikeout. And there are two outs here in the first. Dylan Cousins has arrived. He is back on the Phillies roster. Fresh off being the International League Player of the Week. Phillies designated Trevor Plouffe for assignment today.
So that was Benintendi's 19th stolen base. He's only been caught once?
One time.
Wow. I'm not good with math, Tom, but that's a very good percentage.
J.D. Martinez, the batter. He takes low and away. It's 1-0.
And it was nice to hear Rick Kranitz talking today, being a former catcher. He came out and said, how about that from Nola? He said, as good as he was, he goes, Jorge was just as good with him. He said, so unpredictable, like you had mentioned before, Tom, and they just kept this Red Sox hitters off stride.
Hey, Cranny said I'm not saying this because we have acquired a catcher. He said, I'm saying this because I felt that way during the game and right after the game last night. 2-0 to J.D. Martinez. At the knees with a fastball. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Saw Aaron last night, said, heck of a job tonight. And he goes, thanks.
Well, you make him out to be quiet as a church mouse.
No, he's not. I mean, he's just so humble.
Right. I think that's the way of putting it.
He's got that quiet confidence. You can see it in him. You think he'd be a little giddy about what he did in this Red Sox lineup last night, but that's just not him.
His comments were really good after the game last night, too. He said, you know, when they scored the run, he said, I can't control it. I just have to go out and pitch. I knew there weren't going to be a lot of runs scored in the game. He said, and that's all I did. 2-1 to Martinez, and it's off the glove of Alfaro. That'll move Benintendi over to third. A wild pitch. Three balls, 1 strike.
Jeff Nelson going out, making sure that Jake Arrieta going from the windup or the stretch, because his stretch is pretty much similar to his windup.
Three and 2. Both teams with a runner at third in their half of the first. And Martinez is hit by a pitch. And that puts runners on first and third.
Slider gets away from Jake here.
It wasn't a fastball that Arrieta threw. It wasn't a breaking ball.
It's a shame he used up all those. Is that a changeup grip?
Well, it may have been a changeup. Yeah,
it was 88.
It was the second changeup of the night.
I just assumed it was a slider that backed up.
So now 2 on. Bogarts is up. And Bogarts takes a breaking ball down. It's 1-0. Two balls, 1 strike to Bogarts. Bogarts last night was 0 for 5. He grounded out 4 times. It'd be nice if he grounds out here and does it on the next pitch, because that's 20 pitches for Arrieta. Two and 2. 2 outs. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch is coming. Outside, the runner goes. The throw to second is cut off by Hernandez, who comes home, and Alfaro tags him out. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. The Phillies cut a run down at the plate. Will go to the second. No score. For a Hyundai defensive play of the game.
You just saw it. Excellent job of Alfaro throwing his strike to Cesar. Good exchange. Good pick there by Jorge Alfaro to get Benintendi. Goes down as a fielder's choice. Caught stealing. 2-4-2. Jorge applies the tag. Inning over. No run score. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
And there had to be, as we were talking about in the break, there had to be a quick exchange by Cesar. And it didn't hurt that Alfaro put a lot on his initial throw. All right, Nick Williams leads it off here in the top of the second.
And we watched that play live. I didn't know the throw bounced to Jorge at home plate.
That's what turned out to be. That's what made it such a good play. Nick did not play in last night's ball game. It was a planned day off. Hitting .261. The part about him is that he is starting to hit the baseball a whole lot better against left-handers. And Gabe made it a point of pointing it out today and discussing what they need to do. He goes, we have to figure out how to keep him in the lineup, keep him fresh, because he is hitting against everybody. Fouls that one away.
And find a spot where he can produce the most.
Right.
And tonight he's in that 5 hole. Which I like him in.
Hey, he's batting .281 against left-handers. And he hits that one in the air to center field. Going back on it is Bradley. He'll settle under it, and he makes the catch. And 1 out. That'll bring Michael Franco to the plate. Well, we mentioned this during the open. The trade that happened earlier today, Wilson Ramos was acquired from the Rays, and Aaron Loup, who has to come back from Oakland, that's where the Blue Jays are playing, he was acquired from Toronto to help the Phillies bullpen get another left-hander in the bullpen. And Murph, it seemed like the organization was going after a specific thing, 2 different things, and they were able to get it.
Well, Phillies general manager talked about 3 areas of that they identified before the trade deadline that they wanted to address and hopefully help improve the team. He said offense in the infield, which they feel like they did with Cabrera a couple days ago, then thump behind the plate, a little bit more thump behind the plate, and another left-hander in the bullpen. And you can see that they had very specific goals in mind, and they believe that they were able to do that. Wilson Ramos will join the team soon, as will Aaron Loop, and those guys will fill those spots. Now, as far as Wilson Ramos is concerned, he is on the disabled list right now, and Matt Klentak said best case scenario, they think he will join the team late August, early September. That's when he'll be ready to play. He is going to join the team in Philadelphia, meet his new teammates, meet the medical staff and the coaching staff, and then they'll decide where he heads from there to get finish up his rehab and get back to work. But we won't see him, until late August, early September in this lineup. But what Matt Klentak did say was they were planning on adding a third catcher at some point anyway as the rosters expand in September, and they saw an opportunity to get an all-star and bring him here, and they believe he can help this team down the stretch. So when Ramos does get healthy, he will be in this lineup, and he will share time with Jorge Alfaro and with Andrew Knapp, and they will keep all 3 of those catchers. As far as Loop is concerned, he is a guy that they said he just can get out left-handers. That's what it's all about, a left-handed specialist. And Matt Klentak talked about how, early in the season, April, May, it's kind of a luxury to be able to carry a guy like that. But as rosters expand here in August, they'll be able to carry him for a little while. Then as rosters expand in September, it's no longer a luxury. It's a guy that you can use to get lefties out. So they're very excited with the pieces they've added. And now the guy's got to go out on the field and play some baseball.
Yeah, with Loop, fastball, it's good against lefties. He throws a curve and a slider. It seemed like the Blue Jays we're trying to get him to utilize the slider more than the curve, but he liked the curveball a little bit better. And Gabe Kapler said that he and Chris Young have already sort of gone over some of the notes and some of the numbers on how they can even make him better out of the bullpen, and that's a good thing.
Well, I think it's a really, really good job by Matt Klentak in the front office. It's one thing to realize that you have a need.
That ball is hit well deep to left center field, and it is off the monster. Franco is around third, heading for home, and he will score. Jorge Alfaro with an RBI double, his 15th double of the year, and it's 1-0 Phils.
Strong young man. I'm pretty sure that Jorge broke his bat on that one. That didn't sound real crisp off the bat, but he was able to still drive it off that left center field fence. Right off the end of the bat, gets Swihart. Michael knows right away. He said, I got to get on my horse. Very efficient around the bases. Make sure that helmet doesn't fall off. He scores easily. Big 2-out tally there. But it's one thing to recognize you have a need, but to be able to go out and address it and get the players that you're looking for, that's huge for the Philadelphia Phillies. Front office doing a wonderful job of going out and getting some much needed, in my opinion, some offense there from Wilson Ramos.
Yeah, they have shored up the middle part. And now again, Cabrera's been bouncing back and forth so far this year for the Mets, and even in the 2 games that he played defensively for the Phils. So here's Kingery, 0 for his last 10. He's got a chance to drive in another run. I don't know if you saw Corey Seidman's note that he sent out a little while ago, Ben, but he said that there were 4 players that were on the trade that were traded that had an 800 OPS or better, and the Phillies acquired 2 of those 4.
Wow.
Kingery takes strike 1. Yeah, league-wide, there were 4 players traded this month who have an OPS over 800. Phillies got 2 of them. Manny Machado, Wilson Ramos, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Eduardo Escobar. Kingery fouls it back. It's 0-2. On the on the Major League scoreboard, the Nationals scored 7 runs out of the gate in the bottom of the first inning. And they've jumped out to a 7-0 lead over the Mets. Mike Rizzo, I think, was all over the place today saying we are not trading Bryce Harper, and we're going to go after the division, even though they're 1 game under 500 at this point. standings. They're 52 and 53, 5.5 games out. Atlanta, which hosts the Marlins, are a half game out behind the Phillies.
I said it before, but I think it's going to go down to the wire in the National League East.
Well, the Phillies have those 7 games against the Braves at the end of the season. Just foul by Kingery. And by no means is anybody discounting the Nationals.
I'm not discounting them whatsoever.
Fouls it back. It remains 1-2. Cesar needed a different bat. Hope he gets a chance to use it in this inning. 2-2. What if it's Carlos Santana's bat? Santana was putting some lizard skin, some of the grip on his bat yesterday, and it was an Eugenio Suarez bat. And we were just joking with him about, did he grab a couple in Cincinnati? He said, yeah, I have to. Everybody's using my bats. 2-2 to Kingery, and he stays alive and fouls it. He said the most notable culprit was Maikel Franco, who was using his bats.
It seemed to be working.
That does happen often, right?
It happens a lot. And then you'll go, it's weird. You get that model, you swing it, you feel good with it. Then you order your own,
and then
it doesn't feel the same.
Game's mental, Ben.
It is.
Foul tip. Kingery strikes out. First strikeout for Pomeranz. The Phillies are retired here in the second. They do get a run on the RBI double by Jorge Alfaro. Middle of the second. Phillies won, and the Red Sox nothing. This Saturday, August 4th at 7:05. a special pre-game ceremony. Arrive early to see the 2008 World Champions Home Run Derby Wiffle Ball Challenge at the Yard. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets. Phillies will honor the 2008 World Champs the entire weekend. Gene Victorino will officially retire as a Phil on Friday. Our Geico quote of the day, Gabe Kapler on Odubel Herrera's base running mistake in their post-game meeting. Odubel did everything right. The only thing he needed to do was slide hard into third base. Reese gets him into a rundown specifically to get him to third base. He's on his way to third, just as we would teach it. Then the tag was easy because he didn't take a really hard slide, which I think he understands at this point. And they did have a post-game conversation. And Odubel did meet with the media after last night's game. There's a liner out to right center field, a base hit. Roman Quinn cuts it off. Bogarts is on his way to second. The throw wide. I don't know if he was going to go.
I don't know if he touched first base. It's aggressive play here by Bogarts, and obviously the right one. Watch Xander. Good piece of hitting there on the slider away. Right about there, he's thinking, maybe I can go to 2 here. Throw way offline.
So here is Kinsler in his first at bat with the Red Sox. His last 13 games, he's hitting over 400. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. He is a lifetime .284 hitter here at Fenway Park in 93 games. Guy's always been a good hitter. Alfaro smothers it, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Still steal you a bag or 2 as well. Talk about hitting the jackpot if you're Ian Kinsler. I mean, for Anaheim to 42 games over 500.
And he bunts, foul. And it's 1-2. Brings us to our Nissan upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And Kinsler is 4th among active ball players in runs scored. Pretty notable guys in front of him. Dave Dombrowski knows Kinsler well from their time in Detroit together. And a foul tip. Alfaro hangs on. Strikeout number 2 for Arrieta. And 1 out here in the second.
There's that slider again. Good pitch. Ends up off the plate. Don't want to miss with that pitch on the plate.
Eduardo Nunez 2 for 5 last night. An RBI and a run scored. Cesar keeping Bogarts close at second. And a fastball from or slider from Arrieta outside. 1-0. Nunez 261 with 6 homers and 29 runs batted in. That one goes through the legs of Alfaro. Bogarts doesn't see it. And that is a big break for the Phillies.
Absolutely.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it just, the ball doesn't even bounce.
He got caught in between.
I just don't like him getting in that set position with one knee on the ground, the other one extended out to the right. There's no way you can block a ball, even if it is in the dirt. You can't.
Yeah, he's got some habits that need to be broken, and they're trying to do it. But he has some habits that need to be broken. One ball, 2 strikes to Nunez. And a strike 3 call.
He got crossed up.
3 strikeouts for Arrieta.
He didn't break his thumb. You see him taking his mitt off. Always want to catch thumb up, elbow down. Jorge gets caught with his thumb down here. That's how you end up hurting that catching thumb. Whoop.
You can see his body language, the way he fell forward.
It hurts.
Brock Holt, the hitter. And Holt takes one in the dirt. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Holt was 2 for 5 last night with 2 doubles. Leads off second. There's a lot of indecisiveness from the Red Sox hitters with Arrieta's stuff right now. Now his pitch count, he's up to 37 pitches, but there seems to be a little confusion and a lot of movement. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball, center field. Roman Quinn glides under it, and he'll make the catch. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. We've completed our first 2 innings. Phillies 1 and the Red Sox nothing. The Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the Fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is this, Ben. Who are the only two major leaguers with 20 or more stolen bases and an 800 OPS or more in each of the last 3 years? There are only two guys, Ben. Two.
20+ steals. They both in the American League?
They are both in the American League. Cesar Hernandez leads it off. He grounded out to shortstop after running the count full his first time up. We begin the third, and the Phillies lead it 1-0 on an RBI double by Alfaro. At a first pitch outside by Pomerantz. During this 4-game losing streak, the Phils have averaged under 2 runs per game. Not counting tonight, they have 8 extra base hits, 2 home runs, and a batting average overall of .201. And, you know, not many extra base hits, so a low slugging percentage as well. 1-2 to Hernandez. Now, since the All-Star break overall, the Phillies are first in home runs with 22 and tied for first in extra base hits with 40. Two. Part of the reason is that guy right there. To the hole at shortstop. Bogarts gets to it quickly. Did you hear what happened today at Eagles training camp? Well, keep watching Quick Slants and follow us online for all the updates you need. No one covers your birds better. No one covers them better than NBC Sports Philadelphia. Hoskins walked his first time up. Well, that's a pitcher's pitch right there. Pomerantz has thrown a first pitch strike to only 4 hitters. 3-1. Santana is in the on-deck circle. And ball 4. Hoskins walks for the second time.
Told you.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's 3 walks now for Pomerantz. And now Santana. Santana made a poor decision his last time up when he smoked one off the green monster. And he tried to go to second base, and Benintendi, who leads the Red Sox in outfield assist, was able to nail him pretty easily. 8 outfield assists for Benintendi. Swing and a miss at the first one. It's 0-1. bit inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Santana. And he's down on strikes. The foul tip. And there are 2 outs.
The straight 4-seamer away. Foul tip.
Carlos is really reaching for that baseball.
Was.
Cabrera grounded out to shortstop his first time to the plate. And a breaking ball just a bit outside. 1-0. Quiet here tonight, isn't it?
It is.
More so than last night. Popped him up. Moreland, the first baseman, is under it. I think Reese forgot the outs. He now takes off, but the out is recorded at first. No runs, no hits, and the Phils lead 1. They have a 1-0 lead. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery $3 million Pennsylvania Club. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Hello, Ben Davis and Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy here. In the bottom of the 3rd, the Red Sox and the Phils, they'll play a couple games down in Philadelphia in a couple weeks after the Phillies go west. They've got the series this weekend against the Marlins, and then they go to Arizona and San Diego for a week. It's going to be a busy weekend in Philadelphia. It'll be alumni weekend. Phillies will honor the 2018 World Championship squad. Jackie Bradley takes the first pitch fastball outside. Bradley last night was 1 for 5 with a run scored. He's hitting .394 against the Phillies in his career. There's a liner to right field. It's going to bounce and go into the crowd. Ground rule double. It's his 19th double this season. So for the 3rd consecutive inning, the Red Sox have the leadoff hitter aboard. Arrieta's been able to work out of both jams. Let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, single in the first to start, a double in the second, another double here in the third. It's a rolling breaking ball there. Really nice job of Bradley Jr. keeping his head down on the baseball.
Benintendi, who singled his first time up after falling behind 0-2. Swinging a foul tip on the first one here. Inside, 1-1. They do appeal to Andy Fletcher in the first base, the third base umpire. Out to short, caught by Kingery, and one out here in the third. MLB At Bat is your #1 Philadelphia Phillies app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get the Phillies home screen icon and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. With one out, here's Swihart, who flied out to Reese down the left field line, his first time up. Alfaro keeps that in front, 1-0.
Nice block there laterally by Jorge. So you have to drive off your left foot here, your left leg. See how he gets around it, kind of circles it.
Change speeds on that one. It's 1-1.
Good change up.
One and two. Painted the outside corner. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, behind the plate. Moreland's on deck. To the right side. That'll get Bradley over to third. But the out is recorded at first. 2 away. And Moreland, who struck out his first time up, will come up here. Ben mentioned after the Phillies head home, the Red Sox, they have a weekend series with the Yankees. And now Jeff Kellogg is saying something to Arrieta, and Arrieta getting a little frustrated with Jeff Kellogg.
About the stretch again, whether you're going to have the stretch or the windup.
Some umpires, they don't all do it with a runner at third. You have to declare which way you're going to go. Some umpires don't ask, but some do all the time. It looked like he was a little frustrated by him asking. Both bullpens tonight are in good shape. The Red Sox have everybody available tonight, including Craig Kimbrell. Let's hope the Phillies don't see him. And the Phillies are in pretty good shape too, according to Gabe before the ball game. To the right side, and Cesar will get it, throw out Moreland. And the Red Sox leave another one in scoring position as Arrieta brushes aside the leadoff double.
There's been some heavy lifting here early on for Jake, but Philly's still up 1-0. We're heading to the top of the fourth.
Lotus Sit to Stand workstation. Head to WBMason.com and in just one click, WB Mason will deliver and install your new workstation for free. Nobody does it better than who? Who but WB Mason. On a nice night here in Boston, the Phillies lead at 1-0 on an RBI double by Jorge Alfaro. That came in the second. Drew Pomerantz will begin the fourth by facing Nick Williams, who flied out to the track in left center field his first time up. So Williams 0 for 1. I think this turned out to be one of the busier trade deadline days that we've had in quite some time. And even up until about 4 o'clock, the flurry of deals, whether it be the Archer deal to Pittsburgh, all the wheeling and dealing that the Orioles had, the Brewers making deal with the Orioles to get Scope. 3-1 on the putout and 1 away. Here's a list of the moves, or some of them anyway, that took place today. Kevin Gausman and Darren O'Day went to the Braves. Brian Dozier and John Axford went to the Dodgers. Axford was with the Blue Jays. Dozier was with the Twins. Kinsler leaves the Nationals for the Cubs. I was surprised that the Cardinals traded Tommy Pham. And Archer was traded to the Pirates for Austin Meadows and Glasnow. Leonis Martin went to the Indians. Franco takes outside.
I think the Dozier deal is huge for the Dodgers. I really do. You get a second baseman in there.
One of the things I think that stands out in the Dozier deal for the Dodgers is that, you know, there have been times the last couple of years where he's put up big home run numbers, but a lot of them have come in the second half of the year.
Very position they have struggled with for offense the last couple seasons.
Yeah, this year 16 home runs, 52 runs batted in, hitting only .224, which is about 25 points below his overall average for his career. As Franco walks for the second time. New York Mets did not make many moves. They'll be in the ballpark for 4 games in 3 days. It starts Thursday, August 16th with a single admission doubleheader. Friday the 17th, a 6:05 first pitch, and the Old Dominion concert coming up afterward. And then Saturday, August 18th at 4:05, it's IBEW Local 98 Jake Arrieta nickname T-shirt as Roman Quinn lines one to left field. Now Roman's got the speed to go to second base, and he'll get there easily. The ball wasn't hit as hard as the one Santana hit, but Roman's got a lot more speed than Carlos Santana.
A wee bit more.
Yeah, so there's really no chance of him getting thrown out by Benintendi. So that is a good choice.
Good swing. He pops up on a first pitch cutter off Pomerantz's first time up. Goes after the first pitch again. Rifles it down the left field line.
First double in the big leagues in September of 2016. Going 1 to Alfaro, who doubled home the Phillies' only run. That hit the hand of Alfaro. Although there's no single yet from Jeff Nelson. Blake Swihart, now they're going to let him go down to first base. Blake Swihart was looking.
Sure didn't sound like a bat. Ball rolled all the way down past the first base bag. It would have gone in their dugout, Red Sox dugout. Man, you hope Jorge's okay here. Off the bottom part of his hand. Worst part about it's on his catching hand. He's going to feel it every pitch. When you drive the bat through the zone, you pull with that bottom hand.
Scott Sheridan, the Phillies athletic trainer, out to take a look at it. Kepler's there too. Andrew Knapp is looking for his helmet. I think he's staying in the game, but yeah, Andrew's taking his helmet off. So Alfaro will go to first. The Red Sox did take a look at it to make sure that it hit the hand of Alfaro. Yeah, that'll bring Kingery up. All right, Kingery is due. He's 0 for his last 11. He's driven a couple balls to the warning track on a couple of different occasions over this road trip.
To see Scotty get into a good hitter's count. Seems like, you mentioned the numbers, seems like he's 0-2, 1-2 seemingly every AB. It's a good start.
2 balls, 1 strike to Kingery. Popped him up. Out toward left center field. Bradley is under it, tagging at third is Franco. He's heading home. The throw to the plate is not in time. He avoided the tag. Swihart did everything he could to grab it offline and then come back. And Maikel Franco went about a half a step up and around the tag by Swihart.
Some ballerina moves right there by Maikel Franco.
You always want guys to slide, but I don't think he needed to. I think it was better for him not to slide.
Not the way Jackie Bradley Jr. gets behind this baseball and airs it out in the air. Wow. I can't believe this play is this close because we're watching it, just think it's more
I thought it was way
offline.
offline, yeah.
He is safe.
Yeah, they looked at it and they realized that he didn't get him.
What a play here by Maikel to somehow.
I don't know how he missed him. It's 2-0 Phils, an RBI by Kingery, his 30th of the year. And now Hernandez. Should Roman be at third base?
Well, I mean,
he is in scoring position, but Alfaro was probably waiting to see what Roman was doing before he took off.
Maikel Franco has walked twice. He has scored twice.
Well, 2-0 Phillies here in the top of the 4th inning. Cesar taps it foul, 1-1.
Nice job by Scotty. Just situational hitting there, getting the pitch up in the zone and getting that far enough into the outfield.
Out towards center field. Bradley venturing back. He turned himself around, but then found it. And he puts it away. Phillies, though, do get a run on a sacrifice fly by Scott Kingery. They leave 2. We leave for the bottom of the 4th. It's 2-zip Phils. thanks to a sacrifice fly by Scott Kingery. For the Red Sox, it'll be J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Ian Kinsler up against Jake Arrieta. And for J.D. Martinez, what a big pickup he's been for the Red Sox. A lot of people wondered how he would be affected playing here at Fenway Park, but Murph, as it turns out, hasn't been affected negatively at all.
I think Fenway Park has been affected by J.D. Martinez. That's how good he has been. You know, you talk about a guy who has just been an offensive powerhouse over the last couple years in baseball. He's got to be at the top of the conversation, no doubt about it. 77 home runs in the last 2 years. And take a look at his home runs this year. He has 32 home runs this year. You want to talk about having power to all fields? J.D. Martinez is the poster child for that. Now, you take a look. 13 of his opposite field home runs have been here at Fenway Park, 2 of them on the road, and then most of his pull power has been on the road. But you talk about a guy playing to the ballpark and being able to do what he needs to do in this ballpark to be effective. He is doing it this year. He has been absolutely terrific, and you know, he's got a batting average over 300 as well. What Aaron Nola was able to do with J.D. Martinez last night, it just becomes even that much more impressive, because this is a guy that just produces time and time again for the Red Sox.
Yeah, last night he was 0 for 4 with a walk, part of that capsule of the top 5 hitters for the Red Sox that were 0 for 24. It's that one down the right field line. Going over is Nick Williams near pesky pole, and it's just foul.
J.D. Martinez talks about his swing. He said it's almost like a Ferris wheel. He said you look at Mookie Betts and how his bat is kind of level through the zone and it's howling through the zone. He said his bat is kind of like more of a circular path to the baseball. And that's how he's able to create lift and drive balls to the opposite field, drive balls really anywhere.
Well, how close was this? Pole stands 302 feet away from home plate. And a strike 3 call. Martinez down looking, 4 strikeouts for Arrieta. And for the first time tonight, Jake has been able to get the leadoff hitter.
Two-seam that runs back over the plate, right at the top. Good call.
And here's Bogaerts. In there, 0-1. Popped him up into shallow center field. Hernandez says he has it. And 2 quick outs for Arrieta. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers. And by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Pitch high to start this at bat against Ian Kinsler. 1 ball and no strikes. Liner to right field, that'll drop for a hit. And Kinsler's first hit in a Red Sox uniform. And Eduardo Nunez is coming up. Nunez is hit in the box, and it's 0-1. That ball gets away. And Kinsler is going to get to at least second base. Santana's got to hurry. Kinsler's going to third. And the throw to third base not in time. I think Santana just assumed that Kinsler was going to stop at second. He had to bust it and get after that a little quicker.
Yeah, because he really didn't.
Now he got tangled up with Kinsler, but that slowed both of them up. But it didn't slow Kinsler up from going all the way to third.
We've seen balls go way down the first base line. This one does not.
Yeah, he sprinted originally, but then he kind of slowed up a little bit. I just think he thought he was going to stop at second. Over to third base, so hopefully no harm, no foul, as Franco is able to throw him out. 5-3 on the putout, no runs, 1 hit, and a runner left over at third. In fact, the Red Sox have left 4 in scoring position tonight. We head to the 5th. The 10th anniversary of the '08 World Series Championship with members of the team including Brad Lidge, Carlos Ruiz, Jimmy Rollins, Pat Burrell, Ryan Howard, much more, including Jason Worth, who will be there on Sunday to help celebrate Alumni Weekend and the 2008 World Champions. And also, a reminder, everybody coming to the ballpark that day will receive the Brad Lidge Bobble figurine. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets. I think it's so cool that so many guys are coming back for that particular day. Now, you know, Chase Utley can't come back because he's playing with the Dodgers. Ryan Matson can't come back because he's playing with the Nationals. As Reese takes a strike to start the top of the 5th inning. But the fact that so many, almost everybody is coming back, including, as we mentioned, Chooch and Jason Worth. It should be a great weekend. Reese punches one down the right field line and out of play, and it's 0-2. Going over some of the numbers today. Jason Worth, 11 postseason home runs for the Phils. 11. Over to third base, Nunez backhands behind the bag. And a smooth throw over to first. What a way. How about this? Top of the 5th inning. Washington is now on top of the Mets 16-0. Wow. At this point, the Nats can just run the clock out.
My goodness. It's the top of the 5th.
Yeah. Santana over to third, a foul ball.
You know what's crazy is the fact that it's 16-0 in the fifth, and we're in the fifth, and it's 2-0.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is number of pitches that Jake threw, but also how slow Pomerantz is in between pitches.
It's amazing. Not as bad with nobody on, but
Santana is 1 for 2 tonight. Fly ball center field, and Bradley makes the catch for the second out. And here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who is 0 for 2. One. With 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and two. That one drops in. And a line drive base hit it to center field for Cabrera. Asdrubal now with his 3rd hit of the series. And it comes with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Really nice job of keeping his hands back. He's out in front. Shoots it up the middle.
Nick Williams is coming up. Before his induction into the NFL Hall of Fame, Derek Gunn sat down with Brian Dawkins for a heartfelt interview, looking back not only at the highs of his career, but his darkest moments as well. Watch the SNC special, Brian Dawkins Enshrined, tomorrow night at 6:30 and 10 right here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Williams is 0 for 2, grounded out his last time up. Takes a strike, 0-1, a fastball. One. Got a piece of Williams. And that is the 2nd hitter that has been hit tonight by Pomerantz.
Him in the gut. Not that Nick has a gut.
The shirt. Yeah, I guess it did get him.
His left pec. And then his left elbow. Wow. We talked about the way he hangs in against lefties.
All right, so meeting out of the mound, Dana Levangie out. And Swihart and Pomerantz are talking at the top of the hill. As Michael, who has walked twice, will stand in. First and second, 2 outs. Franco takes low. I thought it was interesting listening to Kapler today talk about Michael and what he's done in the month of July, and said, you know, if this is what we have, then we've got something pretty darn special. You know, hopefully it's evolving. His confidence is evolving. He can sustain this moving into the month of August. Inside, 2-0. He is 7 for 22 on this road trip. 2 hits last night with the RBI, the only RBI for the Phillies. There's a strike, 2-1. Quinn is on deck. Got some bullpen issues, Ben. We're going walkie-talkie. That's not even old school. Oh, man, now the phone's ringing. Hello. No.
Oh, no.
It's not going to work. One guy's on the walkie-talkie, the other guy's on the phone.
These are both. Alice Core, what's your 20?
2-2 pitch to Franco in the dirt, 3-2. That's why I got to have some signs. Just hold up some signs, Ben. Now Dana's got a walkie-talkie. Ron Renicky has one. Dana Levangie has one. Let's see. Are they warming up the right guy? Yeah, that's the right guy. The runners will be off with the count 3-2 and 2 outs. Time is called.
Pomerantz and Swihart can get on the same page here.
Runners take off, and Franco fouls it back on top of the screen.
Good one to hit there.
They're really not on the same page. Ryan Brazier is out loosening up on in the pen. Seven different 3-ball counts for Pomerantz. All right, now we got somebody else on the phone. Get the law involved when there's an issue, Ben. Runners will go. Swing and a miss. 90-mile-an-hour pitch that may have been ball 4. And the Phils leave a couple here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. Middle of the 5th, 2-0 Phillies. Minor League Report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, the minor league report includes the player of the week and the pitcher of the week. The player of the week is actually here. That's Dylan Cousins. In 6 games, Dylan had 476 and 4 home runs. And Ben Brown is the pitcher of the week. He pitched for the Gulf Coast League Phils. He had 16 strikeouts in 6 innings. Oh, that's a day. That's like a little league day. All right, Ben, now we've gone to cell phones. So we're going to text. We're going to go police officer to police officer to text who we want warming up. As we begin the bottom of the 5th inning, Brock Holt will lead it off. And it's 0-1.
Just hold a big sign up with somebody's number on it. Everyone has binoculars out in the bullpen. Just see what guy they want up.
Holt pops it up. Foul territory. Third base side. Franco is over and makes the catch. And 1 out. And that will bring Jackie Bradley to the plate. But I have to send condolences out to the family of my buddy George O'Gorman from the Trentonian newspaper. George, a sports writer for so many years, passed away earlier today. And condolences go out to his wife Eileen and his daughter Emily and their entire family. Oj was a sports writer for the Trentonian when I was a sports writer for the Trenton Times. And he was there, you know, a lot longer than I was covering sports. So I was a new sports writer, so we would be out covering different events together. And he had such a great impact on my life and even all the kids in the Mercer County area in the state of New Jersey. And he had a tough battle over the last several years, and he passed away today. And if you see some of the remembrances in some of the local papers, and now some of the other newspapers are writing some stories about him, it's really impressive to see what he accomplished. We've all played high school sports and and folks have played college sports, and you know how impactful those local writers are. And George was one of those guys. And his, I've known him for so long. I started writing when I was 20 years old, so I've known him for 30 years. And we did a lot of football games together and things like that. So our thoughts are with his family and his friends. My buddy Frank Ragazzo, who was such a close friend with Oj, and his cousin Joe O'Gorman, and all of his colleagues at the Trentonian. It's a tough day for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you had so many local writers that covered you growing up.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss by Bradley. And there are 2 outs. That's 5 strikeouts for Arrieta.
Rears back and does a good 2-seamer on the outside part of the plate. Bradley pulling his head off, swinging underneath.
Here's Benintendi, who is 1 for 2. He has singled and he has a soft line drive to shortstop. As Arrieta is trying to pitch another quick inning here. No time is called. Play. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside. 2-2. Arrieta a little frustrated with himself on that pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 88, and Arrieta picks up back-to-back strikeouts and a 1-2-3 fifth inning. On to the 6th we go, and the Phils lead it 2-0. Fearless Philly of the week finished June with the flair and continue to swing it with consistency into the All-Star break. Michael has connected for power and production to start the second half and has delivered an average in the mid-300s for the month of July. Franco's launch angle has been optimal, and his blasts continue to aid the Phils offense as they battle for first place in the East. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Franco's had a hand in tonight's ball game. He has 2 walks and he has scored 2 runs. And as we go to the top of the 6th inning, Joe Kelly will take over for the Red Sox after Pomeranz went 5 innings and allowed those 2 runs. In some ways, you can say the Phillies let him off the hook, but I think you can also say that about the Red Sox early on with Jake Arrieta. And Roman Quinn will lead it off here in the 6th. Roman is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. Five innings, 4 hits for Pomeranz.
4 walks and 3 strikeouts.
Yep, and hit 2 batters, I should say. 0-1 to Roman Quinn. Back toward the middle, and a base hit for Roman Quinn. So he's 2 for 3. And we'll see if Quinn tries to take off at all with Alfaro coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you, Tom. Well, how about this for a really cool day today at Citizens Bank Park back in Philadelphia? Children of military members serving overseas were treated to a surprise party at the park. First up, it was a shopping spree for back-to-school supplies, all donated by Phillies fans back on the 4th of July. That was the rucksacks to knapsacks agenda. And then afterwards, well, of course, you just have a party, playing at the yard. Mickey Morandini was there, playing wiffle ball, eating ice cream and pizza and all the good stuff that can happen out there. Just a way for the Phillies organization to say thanks to the families for all that they do for our protection each and every day. So a terrific day. I'm sure a lot of fun was had at Citizens Bank Park today.
Yeah, I think that's outstanding. I mean, look at all the stuff that was there, that was donated. Phillies ball girls were there too. You saw the Fanatic in the background. I mean, you know, we've talked all these years about how much of an impact the Phillies have in the community, and you can see it even just right there. Very cool. Quinn leads off first. He was thrown out trying to steal yesterday.
Quick feet by Kelly right there.
Another throw over. One ball and one strike. 97 on that fastball.
Quite the contrast from Drew Pomerantz.
Statcast AI powered by AWS. As we see him inch off that first base bag. Quinn, that is.
Getting that lead foot right to the edge of that cutout.
And he goes. Boy, he got a good jump. Throw to second base, and he is out at second. Roman points into the dugout. Thought he got a good jump, man. That was a really good throw by Swihart.
Amazing throw. He got rid of it quickly. Was a good pitch to throw on. That was a pretty good jump. And put it right on the bag.
There.
He threw the heck out of that baseball.
No, he's out.
See how Kinsler waited for that ball to get there all the way?
Got him on the way down. It's a really good throw. So Roman is now thrown out in back-to-back games
on two amazing throws.
Yeah. 1-2 to Alfaro. Alfaro doing a little soccer juggling as he kicks the baseball away. He did say that if he wasn't a baseball player, he'd be a soccer player. Off to the right, and it remains 2-2 to Alfaro. A few 98-mile-an-hour fastballs that Kelly's throwing.
I like a couple of these swings though by Jorge. He's taking the muscles out of it, just using his hands. His bat's flying through the zone. See if he can win this battle.
Fly ball out to right center field. And Jackie Bradley Jr. settles under it to make the catch. 2 outs. Well, the Red Sox are coming back to Philadelphia on Tuesday, August 14th to start a 2-game series. Both of those games are also at 7:05. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Kingery takes strike one.
Joe Kelly, not much to him, but he can whip a baseball in there, can he?
He can. Fly ball right field. Martinez ventures back. And he'll put it away. Kingery flies out. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We played 5 1/2. The Phillies hanging on to a 2-0 lead. Light refreshing finish. Jake Arrieta, at least through the first 5 innings, is picking up right where Aaron Nola left off last night, Ben.
Yes, he is. He able to get out of some trouble early on in the ball game. Stranded a bunch of base runners. Red Sox really tardy on his fastball. The sinker has good action to it tonight. A lot of lefties pulling off. He has been very, very good.
Well, the scoreboard operator, and it's operated by hand, had some work to do in between innings, and yep, the Nationals have kicked the field goal. It's now 19-0 Washington as they try to get back to the 500 mark.
I'd say that one doesn't get used a whole lot.
No, I don't think so. Swihart takes strike one. It's 0-1. So the line on Arrieta, trying to wrap up July on a high note. The line drive in right field, a base hit. The leadoff single for Swihart. Mitch Moreland's coming up. Time now for the Ram Truck Stuff the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Ben, here we go. Who are the only 2 major leaguers with 20 or more stolen bases and an 800 or better OPS in each of the last 3 years?
I'm going to go with one man who's not in the lineup tonight, Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is correct, Ben. You've got one correct.
Mike Trout.
And Mike Trout is incorrect. That's what I thought it would be. All right, when you think about this guy, don't think about as big as Mike Trout.
Not as big. You mean in stature?
Yes. Moreland takes low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Anytime you look at him, you say, how could that man have that kind of power?
He's an American leaguer.
Yeah, when he originally tried out for his team that he plays on, they sent him home. And a line drive to right field. Williams coming on. He dives and he makes the catch. 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Good closing speed there by Nick Williams. Wow. Another broken bat here. Swihart broke his bat, got a knock. Moreland, broken bat, a humpback liner. Boy, that's a nice play. His team told him to go home.
Yeah, the franchise told him to go home, and he came back the next day. And they signed him.
Can you help me with the team?
Yeah, the Astros.
Oh, Jose Altuve.
Altuve is correct.
Wow.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. That one's going to be hopefully just off the monster. It is. Played well by Hoskins. His throw goes to the cutoff man. And the Red Sox with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 25th double of the year for J.D. Martinez.
Red Sox a little more aggressive this inning, swinging earlier in counts. Could be a changeup. This is played excellently right here by Rhys Hoskins. Played it perfectly.
Phillies play the infield back. They'll exchange a run for an out. Bogarts has doubled tonight, and he's also popped out. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. I don't know if Alfaro was crossed up or if he was just awkward going after that. One. No action yet in the Phillies pen. There's action in the Red Sox pen. Over to third base. Franco's got it. He'll spin and throw to first in time. A run scores. It's a 2-1 game, but there are 2 outs here in the 6th. Little glove side stab by Maikel Franco.
Nice play here. The ball really stays down on this notoriously fast infield. See Maikel range to his left. Ball hugs the ground. Gets up and throws it strike on to Carlos.
It makes the Red Sox 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position in these 2 games. And now they've got to get Kinsler. With a runner at third, it's 2-1 in favor of the Phillies. To the dirt, blocked by Alfaro. It was in the 6th inning against the Dodgers where Arrieta scuffled and they took him out after 6. I think that's really the same formula that Gabe is hoping for here, is to get him through 6. 1 as that one's fouled off Alfaro. Morano was wandering around. He may be the first one up. One and two. Field, Williams is there to make the catch, and the inning is over. A run does score on the RBI ground out by Bogarts, but they're able to get Kinsler with a runner at third. We'll head to the 7th, top of the order due up. Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary takes us to the top of the 7th inning. Jake Arrieta, 6 strikeouts and 1 earned run over 6 innings. Jorge Alfaro has an RBI double tonight. Michael Franco has scored 2 runs. And now we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Cesar Hernandez will face Heath Hembry.
.44 1/3 innings pitched. 19 walks, 59 strikeouts. He's 4-1 with a 3.65 ERA. He can put you away.
Well, last night he pitched a scoreless inning, struck out 2. Red Sox bullpen outdid the Phillies bullpen in that extra inning game. And a pitch to Cesar inside, 1-0. Two balls, no strikes. It'll be Hernandez, Hoskins, and Santana here in the top of the 7th inning. And ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. 5 walks tonight for the Phils. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. All right, so we will say goodbye to Fenway after this ball game's over. We head back home. I mean, Phillies wanted to prove a point when they got here. Now they lead this one. They haven't had the timeliest of hits, but their pitchers have forced the Red Sox to not have the timeliest of hits.
Yeah, they've been really, really good in this series, this quick 2-game series. Aaron Nola doing his thing last night. Obviously, Jake Arrieta tonight just phenomenal. And we'll see if he goes out to pitch the bottom of the 7th. I think he will.
The bottom of the order is due up for the Red Sox.
Especially after Reese hits his 2-run homer.
Takes a strike, 1-1. Reese grounded out his last time. He walked his first 2 times. Reese has 14 extra base hits during the month of July. The dirt. Swihart keeps it around. And it's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Santana is next. Swing and a miss. Hoskins down on strikes. 1 out here in the 7th. And Santana's due up.
Emery goes with a curveball here. Shook off Swihart 3 times to get to that curveball.
Bogaerts lets everybody know that he's the one covering second, even with the overshift on. Santana's 1 for 3, 4 for 23 on the road trip. And he gets that one out to center field. Bradley comes in. He's there. And there are 2 outs. And Asdrubal Cabrera is next up. Cabrera is 1 for 3. Now has 1,494 hits with his single tonight. As he's zeroing in a personal milestone of 1,500. Alex Gordon, the Royals, reached 1,500 hits tonight. Frazier warms up again. strikes out, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Phillies will leave 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. It's time to stretch at Fenway Park, with the Phillies leading the Red Sox 2-1. Baseball, well, Nick Williams has been busy these last couple innings out in right field.
He sure has, off the bat of Mitch Moreland. And then in Kinsler to close out the bottom of the 6th. Jake Arrieta appreciates it. Your T-Mobile, built for baseball.
He's not as graceful all the time as Roman Quinn is, let's say, out in right field. Roman was last night, but Nick gets the job done. Phillies fans are hoping that Jake Arrieta has another clean inning in him. He starts this inning with 87 pitches. As we begin the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Eduardo Nunez, Brock Holt, and Jackie Bradley. Those are the scheduled hitters for Boston. First pitch hit out towards center field. Roman Quinn is there. And 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 away. Jake has not really needed the ground ball tonight. He only has 4 ground ball outs that I can see. He came into this ball game with the 2nd highest ground ball percentage in the National League. Clayton Richard is number 1. Arrieta is at 53.8%. And Richard at 57.5. As Tommy Hunter starts to loosen. Field line, foul. 0-2. Meanwhile, Matt Barnes, we did not see him last night, loosening up for the Red Sox. How about this weekend? The Yankees will be without Jay Happ for the series against the Red Sox. As that one is bounced back toward the middle. Kingry's got it on the second base side, throws out Holt. There are 2 outs, but the Red Sox put Chris Sale on the disabled list today. Shoulder inflammation. Really out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a big blow to them, obviously. Top pitchers in all of baseball.
Bradley 1 for 2 against Arrieta tonight. He swings at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Still some good movement on that fastball from Arrieta.
You can see, though, how the Red Sox have made a concerted effort as this game has moved along to try and get Jake earlier in the count. And we saw the pitch count really high early on.
Not necessarily that high now through 7 innings as he picks up another strikeout. It's his 7th strikeout of the night. He allows 1 run in 7 innings of work, and this was a quick 7th inning. We move to the 8th. The Phillies hanging on to a 1-run lead. Brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Heard of your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Well, Jake Arrieta's night looks like it's done. 7 strong innings tonight. Man, did he step up in a big way. He's being congratulated by his teammates.
Something.
Struck out 7, scattered 6 hits. Charged with 1 run. I mean, think about what the Phillies got last night from Aaron Nola. 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. Tonight, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts.
15 innings pitched out of the starting pitching last night and give up 2 runs
to this team.
That's I mean, this offense is just, it can be as hot as anybody. For to have the starting pitching silence an offense like these two have, it's remarkable.
Well, Matt Barnes will take over as we go to the 8th inning, and Nick Williams takes a strike on the outer edge. Barnes a 2.35 earned run average. There are a lot of folks up here in Boston that were disappointed that the Red Sox did not make a move for another relief pitcher. Dave Dabrowski, who still has an opportunity to make a move. Everybody does, as long as players move through waivers or you claim that player. He said, listen, I know the names aren't big, the guys that are in the bullpen, but don't look at the names, just look at the numbers. And Barnes is one of those guys. Obviously, Craig Kimbrell is a name, but there are not a lot of household names in this Red Sox bullpen. There's Kimbrell.
Barnes with a 2.35 ERA, a whip of just over 1.
Two and two to Williams. He is down on strikes looking. One away here in the 8th inning. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Time for the Major League Notebook presented by the University of Maryland, University College, and the Nats are pouring it on over New York tonight. We told you that 19-1 right now. But in that game, Ryan Zimmerman got hit number 1,695, makes him the all-time hits leader in the National Expos organization, passing Tim Wallach. He already owns the record for home runs, RBIs, and a couple of others. So, you know, pretty special player in their organization. And like I said, 19-1 in that game. And how about a trade between the Texas Rangers today and the Arizona Diamondbacks? They're playing one another, and Jake Diekman, former Philly, gets traded from the Rangers to the Diamondbacks. And so, okay, it's a short trip over to that other clubhouse. How does he go? How about the bullpen cart? They pulled the bullpen cart up. He loaded up all his stuff, and over to the new clubhouse did he go. So Jake Diekman traveling in style. And, you know, if the bullpen cart is there, you might as well use it to move your stuff, right?
That is funny. Yeah. Murph, are you going to be on the bullpen cart next week?
You know what? I just might.
You have to.
Love the bullpen cart.
Let me drive it?
That's a good question.
You asked nicely.
I think you're persuasive. I think you could do it.
Drive it right into the pool.
Well, then they will not let you drive it. Roman Quinn is 2 for 3. And he takes a pitch low. It's 0-1. Or takes a pitch at the knees. It's 0-1. That is pretty funny, though. Just pull the bullpen card up.
Pull it around.
One ball and one strike. Back toward the middle, another base hit for Roman Quinn. And Franco will hold up at second base. Roman now with 3 hits tonight.
Stay hot. Barnes goes with a little curveball here, hangs it right through the wickets. And back up the box.
Let's see if Alfaro can get the run home. Or maybe a couple runs home. The fastball, it's 0-1. Braves have taken a 1-0 lead over the Marlins. That game's in the 3rd. Braves scored a run in their half of the 1st. Phillies lead the Braves by a half game in the division.
Roman with his 3rd hit now up the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Marlins really pinch up the middle this weekend. They had some of their advanced scouts.
Look at this, 0-2, 99. He's got that little stroll down. He started doing it about 3 weeks ago. Everybody's got something, Ben.
And he clear his mind.
He can do it as long as he wants, because I don't think baseball really cares to keep guys in the box. 0-2. One and two. Kingery on deck. Swihart hangs on. 4 strikeouts now for the Red Sox bullpen. A reminder, this weekend the Phillies will honor Shane Victorino as he retires officially as a Phil on Friday night. And all fans coming to the ballpark will receive the Shane Victorino Big Head collectible print. Go to Phillies.com, purchase your tickets. Get a chance to see Shane. He's doing a lot with his foundation during this weekend series. He always does so much work. Shane was a member of the Red Sox 2013 World Championship. Kingery fouls it back. It's 0-1. Kingery had a sac fly his second time up. He's 0 for 2. 0 for his last 12. One and two. Went after a breaking pitch. So I guess that was the splitter.
Throws it so hard. A curveball.
Yeah, it is a breaking ball. Just had such downward tilt.
You got to respect the 98, 99 he's throwing up there.
Runners lead off. 2 outs here at the top of the 8th inning. Up and in. That'll wake you up a little bit.
Yeah.
2 and 2. Looks like it's Tommy Hunter. Thought maybe it would be Arano.
Neshek?
I just don't see Neshek working back-to-back games. At least at this point. You know, he went 2/3 last night. He didn't throw a lot of pitches, but I just think that we have to get used to the fact that he's probably not going to work back-to-back games. I mean, maybe he'll do it in September, because he may need to do it in September.
They have to do it in September.
Not that he doesn't need to do it at certain times now, but 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kingery. In the dirt, 3 and 2. The runners will be off, which is a good thing if Kingery can get one into the gap. Take their lead. 3 balls and 2 strikes. They go. The pitch fouled away. They'll do it again. This is already a 7-pitch at bat. This will be number 8. There's Inchoff. They take off. And ball 4. And that'll load the bases up.
Heck on that bat there by Scott Kingery.
Yeah, 8 pitches leads to a walk. And Levangi's coming out with Cesar Hernandez due up. We want to talk about somebody that has a thick Boston accent. Dana Levangi has a thick Boston accent.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like Goodwill Hunting thick?
It's thick.
Really?
Yes. Former Red Sox farmhand, was a catcher in the Red Sox system. Bullpen action. Velasquez with Cesar up and the bases loaded. Swing and a miss, 0-1. And the Phillies, I know both teams could use it, but the Phillies really could use a clutch hit to kind of blow it open here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. 8 left on base for the Fighting Phils.
Yeah, so they've left 20 in the first game and the first part of this game. The 0-1 to Cesar, and he fouls it. It's 0-2. Cesar is 0 for 8 in these 2 games. He has 2 walks. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Swing and miss. Got him with the, I guess it was the breaking ball. And he strikes out 3 in the inning. The Phillies leave him loaded in the top of the 8th inning. So the top of the order is due up for Boston when we come back at the bottom of the 8th. The 8th inning. That's Tommy Hunter loosening up out on the mound. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Tommy Hunter, a 4.50 earned run average. Last night he went an inning and a third. Facing Benintendi to start it off. And the first pitch in there, it's 0-1. Benintendi is 1 for 3. There he had a 7 inning, 6 hits, 1 run. 7 strikeouts. He hit 1 batter. Kimbrel and Velasquez warming up for the Red Sox. Back towards shortstop. Kingery is up with it, and he hurries the throw. 1 away. And here's Swihart. Listening to talk radio today in the city of Boston as Dominguez warms up. Everybody was wondering why the Phillies allowed Swihart to bat left-handed last night. Well, part of it is that they had no real option. I mean, Austin Davis was the only lefty, so they already used him. And as Cap said, you know, it's a matchup. It's just that Garcia didn't execute the pitch. Out toward right center field. On the run is Roman Quinn, and he'll track it down. Man, did he cover a lot of ground. 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
It is something.
We're just watching from our vantage point where he went.
See the initial read off the bat. He gets there easily.
One out, or 2 outs, I should say, on 4 pitches. And here's Mitch Moreland. Moreland is 0 for 3. 0-1. And 2. Fouled it back. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball right side, backhanded by Santana. Tommy's there to cover, and the inning is over.
8 pitches, 7 strikes, 3 outs.
Wow. 1, 2, 3. Go the Red Sox. Heck of a job by Tommy Hunter. We'll go to the 9th inning. The Phillies on top 2-1. Following the ballgame, it's Phillies postgame live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Michael Barkan, Ricky Pitalico, Corey Seidman are standing by. They're going to talk about what a great night it was for Jake Arrieta. Big time effort by Jake. Franco scoring a couple of runs for the Phils. And they'll also talk about this bullpen, and hopefully they can hang on. Plus, they'll recap the trade deadline and the moves the Phillies made, but also everybody else in baseball. So here is Velasquez, who pitched last night, and he's on to pitch the 9th inning here. We always think, at least I do. I know, Ben, you feel this way too. It's a treat to come up here.
Yeah.
I know it's always a tough game, tough series, no matter when the Phillies face the Red Sox. All the walk-offs the Phillies have been part of over the last couple of years. It's just a great place to come and just watch a game.
It's just beautiful.
As Hoskins leads off the 9th inning. And he takes inside. It's 1-0.
Yeah, this is just a great vantage point that we have. We talked about it last night. Great city. And this ballpark is special.
On the outside corner, it's 1-1. And the Phillies, their starting pitchers did what they needed to do coming in. Last night it was Aaron Nola, who went 8 innings. Tonight it was Jake Arrieta, who went 7 innings. Last time the Phillies had 2 pitchers go at least 7 innings in back-to-back games was early in July. It was Eflin and Nola. And a liner down the left field line. That is a foul ball.
And that is hard to do at this place. Hit a ball on the ground past the third base bag. Foul. There's just no foul territory down either line.
What did you say, about a foot foul, right?
Yeah.
2-2. That one's out toward right center field. That'll stay fair. It's going to go to the track as Bradley cuts it off. And Hoskins will pull into second base with a double. It's his 3rd double of the series. And how about that throw by Bradley?
He's got a bazooka.
It shouldn't have even been close.
No. And it's not like Reese was dogging it out of the box either. That's just a really good piece of hitting here by Reese. Use the whole field. That is something.
I mean, look at that throw. Look at the accuracy after the spin. Well, here's Santana. He is 1 for 4.
Big run out there, T-Mac.
He's either got to get him in, or get him to third. During this 4-game losing streak, the Phillies are 6 for 28 with runners in scoring position. That was coming into tonight's ball game. Back toward the middle, and a base hit off the glove of Bogarts. Rounding third, heading for home is Hoskins, and he will score. An RBI single for Santana. The Phils increase their lead. It's 3-1.
Huge. Got him over and got him in, T-Mac.
And it was so helpful that the ball grazed off Bogarts' glove instead of going directly to Bradley in center field, because that slowed it up.
It absolutely did. Because we've seen Bradley Jr. throw the baseball, and that does slow it up enough where Dusty Watham, no problems in sending Reese.
63 RBIs now for Santana. And here is Cabrera, who is 1 for 4. Phillies 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position in the series. They get a big hit there. The out of town scoreboard. That's wrong. That's right. Well, it's wrong, but it's right. 24-1. Jose Reyes is pitching for the Mets.
The Mets won today. What? The Mets won today.
Oh. 2-1.
That is 24-1.
Like Rizzo said today, we're going to go for it.
I got to look at that box score.
That one's looped out to second base, caught by Kinsler. And one away. Santana's able to scramble back.
4 for 6, 3 for 6, 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 3 for 6, 3 for 4, 3 for 4. My goodness. There's 25 hits in that game for the Nats.
Then there's 24 runs.
I know, but
Nick Williams, the batter. And a quick throw over at first. Williams tries to hold, and he did, according to the third base umpire, Andy Fletcher. 1 ball, no strikes. Mike Trout hit his 30th home run tonight against the Rays, joining Willie Mays as the only players to have 30 home runs and 20 stolen bases in 3 seasons before their age 26 campaign. Williams takes outside 3-0. Franco is on deck.
anytime you're in the same sentence as Willie Mays, you're doing something right.
Isn't that the truth? There's a strike to Williams.
There's obviously lots of guys that you wish you could go back and watch play live. Willie might be at the top of my list. Just the stories I've heard.
Over to first. Moreland bobbles, throws wide. They'll get the lead runner.
You watch footage, but it's not like being there in person, you know?
I would agree with that.
Ted Williams would be another.
Wouldn't mind seeing Ted Williams.
Obviously the Sultan of SWAT.
Great Bambino. Here's Michael. Michael is 1 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. I believe that the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson, is calling out the athletic trainer and Alex Cora. It was Jeff that looked like he initiated the move to the mounds. Velasquez says he's okay.
I didn't see him do anything.
No, but it was Nelson who said something to Swihart about coming out. It was not a trip to the mound. Red Sox still have 3 left. Franco the other way, another base hit. Williams around second, he'll hold. And Franco now with 4 hits in the series. He has 2 hits tonight. He's been on base 4 times. And the Phils have runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Really seeing the fruits of his labors here, T-Mac.
His batting average is climbing too, but all of his other numbers are climbing as well. As Quinn takes a fastball and it's 0-1.
Hit 278, highest batting average on the team.
Topper off the plate. Velasquez throws it to Moreland covering. And that wraps up the top of the 9th inning. 1-3 on the putout, but the Phillies do get an insurance run thanks to the RBI off the bat of Carlos Santana. Here comes Sir Anthony Dominguez to try to close the door in the bottom of the 9th. That's in the 8th inning. Well, they can't make it all up in one game. They'll say that they're on the right track, and maybe they are, but that'll take them to the 500 mark. It's that the Phils just worry about themselves here and worry about a victory. They need 3 outs from Sir Anthony Dominguez. He has the 24, and we're sitting here thinking he doesn't know the score. That the Nationals scored 25, and then out of nowhere, he's got the 25.
He's the man.
Here's Sir Anthony Dominguez, a 1.96 ERA, 10 saves and 11 opportunities. He'll face J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Ian Kinsler. Martinez is 1 for 2. Bogaerts 1 for 3. Kinsler is 1 for 3. Starts him off with is that a changeup? Is that a changeup or a slider? One ball and one strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Slider there. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. This is Chad Whitson. 2-2. Gabe Kapler celebrating his birthday today. We forgot to mention that. We've talked to him about it all day. We forgot to mention it on the air. Well, he would love to have a victory for his birthday.
Yes, he would.
43 years old. Outside, 3-2. Other birthdays today: Hank Bauer, Larry Doyle. What about Mickey Davis, Sean Davis?
Number 4 today.
Number 4 for Sean.
Hard to believe. Happy birthday, bud.
And ball 4. Martinez draws a walk.
Although I doubt he's up listening.
That is the first walk of the night for Phillies pitching. 1 hit batter and 1 walk. And now Bogarts. Bogarts is 1 for 3. He has an RBI tonight on a ground out. He doubled his first time up. Martinez with a short lead off first. And a fastball fouled, and it's 0-1. Away, 0-2. Neshek is warming up in the bullpen. Say he didn't swing. I thought there were a couple of things. I thought he may have swung, but I also thought it got the bat. Gabe Kapler is coming out.
Bat went forward. I see, but I don't think there's any intent.
Hit him on the hand. Wow. So that puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Phillies lead it 3-1. I think Dave Dombrowski's holding his breath. Frank Wren, Tony La Russa, one of his special assistants.
Bogarts on the bottom part, like we saw Alfaro get hit on his left hand. Not an auspicious start here for Sir Anthony here in the 9th.
No.
Deep breath.
Kinsler is 1 for 3. Runners lead off first and second. Fastball low, or I should say slider low, and it's 1-0. Too many sliders, you think, Ben? There's a lot of sliders.
There's a lot of sliders.
Must be the scouting report. Oh, it's popped up foul. That's a fastball at 98.
Fans on their feet here at Fenway. Really the first thing they've had a chance to really cheer about.
Dominguez 5 sliders so far. Four seamers, two seamers. And the 1-1. There's a fastball at the knees. It's 1-2, 99. Swing and a foul tip. Alfaro hangs on. And there's one away. Kinsler thinks that it's a foul ball. He's saying that it hit the ground. Oh, the scorer is asking Jeff Nelson to ask. I don't think it hit the ground.
Really good slider here.
Not hit the ground.
No, it did not.
Well, Mookie Betts, who had the walk-off on Saturday for the Red Sox, is going to pinch hit. .25 home runs, 56 runs batted in.
Not a bad guy to have come off the bench, huh?
No, he was held hitless in last night's ball game. He was due up after Swihart. As the runners lead off. First pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
I've seen this before. Rick Kranz would go out and say, hey, I want you to be more aggressive. Even more aggressive with that fastball.
Hopped out. Franco on the third base side in fair territory. The infield fly roll has been called. The batter's automatically out. And there are 2 outs here in the 9th inning. That is a huge out to get there. Velocity really fooled Betts, didn't it?
It almost looked, I mean, that pitch was 98. 98.3. It looked like Mookie was out in front of it.
It did look like he was out in front. So maybe the velocity didn't. He was just trying to get started early.
I guess.
And now Brock Holt, who is 0 for 3. There's a strike. It's 0-1. Just a bit outside. 1-1. It's a close pitch. Off day tomorrow for the Phils, trying to get into that off day to end a 4-game losing streak. Outside. 2-1. Tapper at the plate, 2-2. That's not going to feel good.
Take a deep breath, get your sign, execute.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners lead off. Phillies up 3-1. And the pitch from Dominguez. On the outside corner, strike 3 called at 100 miles an hour. And the Phillies end their 4-game losing streak with a 3-1 victory over the Red Sox. And a very happy birthday for Gabe Kapler, as they will head home in first place in the National League East.
Whew. Exhale now. Boy, he's a nail biter. He got himself into a pickle, but Sir Anthony, trust your stuff, big boy. It's electric.